Hi everyone, I welcome you to yet another new video of what's new in Serverless 360. This is Shruti and Darshini from Serverless 360 team, and in today's video we're going to take a look at the latest release for August 2023 and some of the features that we've added to the product. For those who don't know, Serverless 360 is an enterprise-grade management and monitoring tool for Azure that's intended to make it easier for your support teams for their day-to-day operations and free up the time of your experienced developers and Azure experts so that they can deliver new value for the business. We have four modules within the product, which you can see here. We've got business applications, which provides you the unified observability needed for your Azure resources and to shift left your support activity. And then there's business activity monitor, which helps the business users in end-to-end tracking of the business flows. The Azure Documenter, it is all about providing auditing and automation of documents that you need generated for the solutions you have built on Azure. And comes the cost analyzer feature, which is intended to help you focus on efficiently spending money and managing costs. Alright, let's quickly move to the next slide to see the latest product news and what's latest from the Serverless 360 community. First up, we have newly released YouTube videos on topics like the implementation guide and use case for setting up API endpoint monitoring, unlocking data factory transparency with BAM, and Power Automate integration with Serverless 360 to improve automation efficiency. And on the audio side of things, we have got two new podcasts from the Azure Pros, Ratomir and Tuan, on serverless data integration and Azure costs. You can check it out on a YouTube channel. For all the avid readers out there, we have dropped blogs on the latest insights on Azure integration services and spotlighted a couple of blogs as well that can help you to optimize your Azure SQL database costs and help you with the monitoring of Azure Event Hubs efficiently. Hopefully, we think you find these handy, and now over to you, Darshini. You can now roll out the latest product features and give us a first-hand look through a demo.
So thanks Shruti for your current updates on Serverless 360. Now let's get started with the product release updates for the month of August. Firstly, we have the business application, wherein we have brought in the support for Power Automate flows management and monitoring, where these flows are widely used across a lot of enterprises, where there is no proper monitoring solution available in the market. So we, the Serverless 360 team, are addressing this by providing support for monitoring the flows similar to Logic App using business application. So then we have the monitor the available quotas, where in addition to the monitoring capabilities, we provide for web app and function app. It is now available to monitor them based on quotas. Then we have the auto resolve incidents feature, where we are reducing the manual intervention in incidents by automatically resolving them when the business application turns unhealthy to healthy state. Lastly, within business application, we now allow users to choose the aggregation type for the metrics monitoring rules. Then when it comes to BAM, we have the index creation option for improving the performance of the properties using correlation checkpoints. And next, we now support the wildcard in queries and exception monitoring configuration. Next, we have the Azure Documenter, where now it is possible to generate cost-based reports in different currencies supported for the subscription. And then moving on to the cost analyzer, we have the optimization recommendation based on reservation feature, where based on the service tier of resources, the recommendation will be provided. So where the users can opt for reservations. So this will actually open up the possibility of saving 65% of the cost. So which is a huge sum of amount saved. So next we have the cost forecasting, wherein predictive analysis to estimate potential future expenditure upon resources in Azure is done, which helps users anticipate and manage their budgets efficiently. So last, in general section, we have the exposed APIs that's now available for public use. So that's it with the gist of release items. Now let's dive in deep about each of them. So firstly, we have the business application for our walkthrough, wherein we have the Power Automate flows, where we'll be actually looking into how to monitor and manage the same. So Serverless360 here is pulling the real-time flow details using an Azure service principle. So this actually got access to respective Power Automate environment. So to do this, we actually need to add it through the add option available in the BA. So click on resources and select the service principle that has access to the flow. Click on next and select the Power Automate flow that you want to actually add and click on add. So once the flow is added, you need to actually navigate to that flow to actually manage and monitor the same. So you have the overview where you will be listed with the environment status and when it was created and modified details, and then you have the run history wherein you'll have the history of all the flows with respect to this automated flow. And clicking upon this identifier value will actually list with the run details wherein you have the action status, and clicking on these actions will actually list you with the input and output details as well. So if you want to actually mark any run as favorite, you can actually do that by selecting it and marking it as favorite by using this option. And if you want to mark it as ignored, you can actually use this option to mark it as ignored. And if you want any run to actually be resubmitted quickly, you can use the option resubmit. So when there are several executions, so finding any run is actually difficult, so that we have brought in 3 advanced searches. So one is basically the advanced search, which is done by giving the date range and clicking on search. Then we have the search by identifier, wherein you'll be giving the identifier value and clicking on search, and the run details will be listed for the same. And then we have the get retry chain by identifier, wherein you'll be giving the identifier value and you'll be listed with the chain executions, wherein you'll have the parent and child relationship also being displayed along with the status of each of the executions. So this will be highly helpful for those executions which has a lot of resubmissions. So then we have the trigger history part, wherein all the trigger histories of that particular Power Automate flow will be listed. So you can actually do a quick search by giving its name and status. And then you have action required section, where all the unhandled flows, that is the failed runs of this Power Automated flow, will be listed. So you can actually do only 2 actions from here, that is the resubmit run and ignored runs, which I previously explained. And those runs that are marked as favorite within run history will be listed in the favorite runs option. So then we have the disable option, wherein you can quickly disable this Power Automate flow from within Serverless360. Then you can actually run the trigger by using this run trigger option. And so next you have the monitoring, wherein the Power Automate flows can be monitored by using the rules that are of 2 types, that is status and failure, where the state can also be auto-corrected based on the rules configured. And you have something interesting, that is the resubmit failed runs, wherein the runs that are failed in the said hours can be resubmitted quickly. So the minimum hour here is 1 hour. And if you want to save this, you can use the save configuration option. And suppose you want this resubmission to be done in a scheduled process, you can actually opt the automated task section. So to go to that section, you need to navigate to the automated task from the PA, click on new configuration, go to Power Automate flow and click on resubmit failed Power Automate flow runs. And in that blade, you can provide the required name and then select the flow. Provide the required configurations and click on next. Herein you can provide schedule, suppose you want to schedule it, and you can also provide notification channels if you want this automated task to be notified, and you can click on save. So next we have the monitor the available quotas of app services within business application. As we know that we have rules in BA to monitor the resources, and these rules have types like status and metric. Likewise, quotas are now supported for app, service plan, web app and function app. Suppose you want a warning alert to be thrown when the CPU time quota exceeds 100, you can simply configure by clicking the CPU time, providing the condition, threshold values and clicking on save. So that's it with this. So moving on to the next feature, We have auto resolve incidents, where serverless 360 auto resolve incidents once all the resources in your BA are healthy. If there is any error or warning occurred during monitoring these resources, incidents will be created and users will be alerted, right? So if all the resources turns up to be healthy, users will be alerted with an up alert where the incidents will be closed and there need not be any action to be taken henceforth. So the sample mail would be like this. So furthermore, we have the aggregation metric monitoring rules. Previously, we showed only the default aggregation type for each of the metrics within a resource supported for configuring the monitoring rules. But now, not only the default, but all the aggregation types supported for the metric within the said resource can be configured for monitoring. So that's it with business application. So in BAM, we have the index creation option for correlation checkpoints, where the index creation in property configuration is brought in to improve the performance of querying in case of BAM correlation checkpoints usage during instrumentation. So this can be achieved by simply enabling the create index option while configuring the property. So next we have the wildcard in queries. So support for wildcards is brought in. The tracking page search query for basic and advanced search queries, and also in the exception monitoring part, wherein the advanced alert configuration add rule has conditions like and not like. So that's it with the BAM features. So furthermore, in Azure Documenter, we have the support for multiple currencies in reports. So this is an enhancement done to display the cost details in the document based on desired currency type. Say if the user wants it in USD, he can choose the USD option. Or if the user wants the cost details to be displayed with the currency type that the subscription holds, they can choose upon the default option. So that's it with Azure Documenter. So lastly, we have the cost analyzer, wherein we have reservation. So Azure offers reserved capacity for compute resources, thereby providing discounts on cost spent on it. So Serverless360 analyzes the resources in the subscription and provide the recommendation for opting to reservation. So what are reservations? Basically, it helps in reducing the cost of Azure services by discounting the pay-as-you-go pricing for those with 1 to 3 years of purchase commitment. So cost analyzer here provides detailed information about the resources for which these reservations have been purchased and provide recommendations based on reservation to optimize the cost and improve its performance. So you can view the detailed information about the reservation in the summary, where the list of resources utilizing the purchase reservation can be accessed by clicking the view here. So this is how it looks. So there are 4 types of recommendations that are provided right now. One is the purchase, that tells you to optimize your cost utilization for resources by purchasing a reservation with a 1 year or 3 year pricing commitment. Then comes the change SKU and purchase reservation, wherein it tells that resources SKU should be changed to SKU compatible with reservations and reservation can be changed. And then it's this change SKU and use existing reservation, where resources queue should be changed to one that is compatible with reservations and can leverage the unused reservation. So next is the already with reservation, which tells that resources are already using the purchase reservation. So by making use of this, users can save their compute cost up to 65%. Next is the cost forecasting feature, wherein cost forecasting within cost analyzer is a predictive analysis, right, that estimates potential future expenditures. So this can be achieved by simply clicking upon the forecast option available in the analyst section. So this would actually tell the cost until current date, and this is the future prediction cost. So this is how the chart would look. So finally, we have the exposed API for public use, where Serverless360 APIs are exposed for public usage, where this will be highly functional for those users working with automation. So APIs are documented along with the product documentation, which can be accessed by simply clicking upon the API documentation option available here. So the docs will be listed here. So that's it with the feature list for the month of August. To talk upon what to expect in the upcoming release, we have search that's implemented across all the modules within Serverless 360, where all the entities can be searched and be navigated to respective page. Simple and easy, right? Then we have the integration with Splunk, where alerts identified on Azure resources from Serverless 360 can be sent to Splunk with addition to various other channels. So to talk about BizTalk integration improvements in BAM, Serverless 360 provided support for tracking messages in BizTalk pipelines few months back. The next release will have few more improvements supporting it. Then we have the right sizing recommendations as new report type within Azure Documenter, where reports generated using Azure Documenter can be incorporated with details about right sizing the Azure resources, where the recommendation will also be derived based on the usage of these Azure resources. Finally, in Cost Analyzer, in addition to various resource types that are supported within optimization, scheduling, and right sizing, we are planning to also add an additional resource type, that is SQL Elastic Pool. So hope this video was insightful. Thanks all, and Shruti, I will let you take it from here.
Thanks for the informative updates, Darshini. So for people interested in knowing about Serverless 360, do have a scan at this QR to get a personalized demo. You can also have access to the release notes for the current and previous month updates. Thank you.